We're up and going good here. I want to see, and hopefully this give everyone a few minutes to get on here. Hopefully, if you're on here, start dropping things in the comments. So that I see that I'm getting all the messages saying everything's going live. And that looks like it's putting commercials in the front of this. So once the commercials end, everyone will be on here live. Hey, good Nato. How's it going? I see I got commercials running. That's keeping everyone from being on here. There we go. Alrighty. Steve, hey. Good evening, freedom lovers, conversationalists all across the fruited plain and around the world. Okay, this is T-Mac for T-Mac's American Experience. And I've missed you guys. Haven't been able to do one of these live streams for a little while. And we got a lot to catch up on. Hey, Thad, Candy, thank you for being here. Letting everyone get in here. Heather, thanks for joining. Infinite 7, a short note live from Australia. Chrissy and Reverend Dan, thank you. Thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate you. Nancy, hey, glad to see you on here. And first of all, got to say thank you guys for supporting my videos that I've been putting out here. Normally these videos would all been probably rapid released at a pace of 2 per week. And you guys would probably be like 3 or 4 videos behind, but everyone has time to catch up now. And so this is not really a bad thing. Thank you, Janet. Appreciate that. Eric, hey, thank you for joining. We got a lot to go over, and I'm so glad you guys are here. So I put a title on this here, what we're going to be diving deep into, and I wanted to talk about some of the things from the hikes that I was on, some of the things that are coming up. But let's get to the big thing here, the shoulder surgery. We got to start. We got to start here with this. I gotta say this out here now for anyone who does not believe in Christ. This message is definitely for you. Okay, if you believe in Christ, this message is definitely for you. Okay, because I've had, on top of my own prayers to the Lord, I've been having a lot of other people intercede in prayer for me in Northern Ireland. Wow, thank you for joining. So I've been having many people from my church to my family, to my wife and my daughter, everybody interceding in prayer on my behalf before and after the surgery. And so I wanted to give you guys just an update on how that went, and just absolutely amazing. So, I had the MRI on it. The MRI showed a tear in the rotator cuff, and it showed that it was the tear was now worse from what it was in 2019 when I originally tore it. So it's showing an even bigger tear. On top of was showing a bone spur and some very bad arthritis in there. So this is they said that was the repairing the tear part was going to be the longest part of the recovery. And that was going to have me in this sling that I'm currently in for 6 weeks. And now, it was going to be 6 months to full recovery. I was optimistic on that time frame and what it meant for me being able to return to hike, but here's the thing. The Lord listened to prayers and answered. And despite having all the imaging and that the shoulder's behavior, how it was acting, the amount of pain I was in, and the lack of mobility that I had, that they tested me out on, these professional doctors tested me on, they said it has a tear. Your arm is behaving, your body's behaving like you have a torn rotator cuff. They go in there, and magically, no tear now. The tear is gone. It disappeared. Wiped off the map. So they had to clear out a bone spur and clear out some arthritis, none of which would have caused the level of pain and immobility that I had prior to this. But the worst part of this, miraculously, just went away without an explanation, without the doctors having some sort of explanation for it. So the timeline has now greatly increased. They said I'm in the sling for 2 weeks. I will get the stitches out there at about 2.5 weeks. I will be able to start physical therapy, and they're saying recovery in 6 weeks. So that means I should be back to going out hiking, and with a much stronger and healthier shoulder, with more mobility, that I should be able to be doing that here, second week of June. I should be out hiking, and we'll put this episode behind me because it still has been very, very painful. Yeah, so that's the starting off with the good news there. This is it's still been very painful and very difficult. Definitely adapting to being one-armed and totally left-handed. Even though I've adapted to being about 50-50 or 51-49 to the left-hand side, which thank God I did, because that's made this a little easier. But now being fully left-handed, and most of the time not even having any kind of support from the other hand, that's been challenging. It's made me clumsy, awkward. I'm constantly spilling things, knocking things over, getting ready for this live stream. This was my whole day's worth of energy, because the pain does sap me out of the of energy real quick. And so I definitely got some building back to do. So I'm just thanking the Lord over everything and the way it's going. The help that I've had so many people reach out to me personally, contact me, stop by, give helping hands, all that kind of stuff. So it's been nice to see the support I have, because some of these days here, especially not being able to drive anywhere or just go about my normal routine, go into the woods and enjoy it. Oh, another one, Northern Ireland. Hey, thank you for joining. Northern Ireland's in the house. Okay. And we got Australia in the house. Love that. Okay, so if you watched the most recent one, I'm in the Pennsylvania, the state game lands. Hello, Nancy. Pennsylvania state game lands. I did the 3 hikes, the last 3 hikes, that was videoed within 2 days of each other. I had 2 beautiful days, and I got out in the woods and at a very high pain level. Got 3 videos recorded that day. That's how I'm having videos, to be able to continue to keep releasing here. I had to do a lot of hard work to get there. So the first night, I noticed I'm way out in the middle of nowhere on roads that don't connect to anything, and I have cars circling around me. I'm like, it's my damn Sorry, excuse my language there. It's my stalkers. Like, you know, son of a gun, man. They just can't leave me alone. They circle around. Well, if you notice in this last one, I'm putting some dots together from some of the other hikes that happened after this. There's the point where I mentioned I can hear a car with blaring its stereo out here in the middle of the night, out in the woods, going, you know, nowhere. And actually, it was going in a direction towards nothing, where the road literally dead ends, and that's the direction the car's going. And it was instantly like, what in the world, you know? And I hear them beep their horn and everything. So like, they knew where I was. It's like those were the stalkers. And I know, I have an idea because connecting the points, stalkers decided to show up again, and I got this all on video. This will be coming out in the near future, and I'll go over that. We ended up having a run-in. They tried to interrupt my hike, and I just got to say, I carry wireless hole punchers, and I'm not afraid to use them. They obviously didn't, and there was either 3 or 4 of them. It was hard to tell. They were in 2 different vehicles. They had to retreat, and I didn't. So, yeah, and that's a short note. That's how most of my videos are solo. But I got coming up the next one. I'm with Jack and MT in the Cuyahoga National Forest there. The 2 of them have both released their versions of this. But I got the next video coming out. Everett, near Everett Covered Bridge in the Cuyahoga National Forest. And I had for lack of a better term, all my stuff got zapped right at the beginning of the video. All my stuff that was fully charged up, flashlight, extra batteries, extra flashlight, everything went, the main flashlight went half dead. 2 of my batteries went dead. My secondary flashlight went totally dead. And my phone that I'm videoing on went half dead. And I actually had to leave, go back into my car and grab extra battery packs, and had to continue that. But I had to use my light very sparingly because it killed my backup. I had everything. I meticulously go over getting this stuff, everything charged up before the hikes. Now, I have my works to do on my checklist of getting everything into the car. But everything will be charged up for sure. And everything got zapped this night, which is the first time I've ever had that much happen. Like I've watched Jack and MT and Trapper, all their stuff just go dead in a heartbeat, and all my stuff kept working. And tonight, or this night, and this hike coming up was the exact opposite. My stuff, almost everything went totally dead, and I was having to borrow stuff from them because I got zapped. And right at the beginning of the video too, turned everything on, it was full, checked, all of a sudden it just zap, and everything went. Yeah. So the thermal camera on this last video got zapped, and that happens. It seems like that thermal camera gets attacked. Is the only other way I can explain this. Thermal camera was fully charged because I went out hiking the night before, so I knew I was coming out to do 2 in a row. I instantly got back home, and before I did anything else, I had everything on the charger. And then everything for the rest of the day was getting everything charged up and ready to go back out for that night. And the thermal camera died partway through the video. And yeah, Nancy's mentioning claim 3. And again, I'm, right now I can't. But man, I've been nagging Jack about taking me to claim 3. So yeah, see me at claim 3. I would like to see that too. So, and I'd like to go at like whatever the most active time of the year is. So I will tell you this though, the woods are coming alive here. Man, I can't believe even from my last video, how much greener the woods is around here. We've got a ton of rain, which is normal for us. raining today, raining all day today. And that's just the way it is here. And we have everything is just turning green and growing very quickly. Unfortunately, that means all the bugs that want to try to go for all of my lights and hit me in the face, spider webs across the face, all that's going to start back up. And as we start getting warmer here too, all of the snakes are going to emerge from hibernation. Actually, I think they probably are now, but it's still been kind of chilly, so they still don't move around too well in this kind of cold. So, but the big thing is a lot of bears. I keep up on in the Northeast Ohio region and into Northwest Pennsylvania. I keep track of those the bear encounters, and this spring already the bear encounters are going through the roof. So even though state of Ohio revised their numbers to, I believe they said for the entire state of Ohio that there are like 58 total bear. So like when Jack on one of his trail cameras caught 4 of them on there, that should be a statistical impossibility. Jack definitely needs to play the lottery, according to the state of Ohio. Jack's seen an anomaly there where he had damn near 15% of the bear population in one spot. So it's just going to show you that, how much the painting behind me. Oh, my bomb. Oh, this. Let me show you this. Now, I only got one arm to deal with it here, so. This, it's heavy, so I got to try to hold it with one arm. This is my Hall of Fame plaque. Okay. I made it to retirement for the munitions squadron. And this is the Hall of Fame plaque, Hall of Famers there. Get those plaques. So the people who went above and beyond, and I don't know whether you want to say I put my heart and soul into it, but so did everyone else. So as far as the awards and everything go, not necessarily saying that I don't think I deserved anything more than anyone else, but it's like the awards they gave me. It's like, well, okay, thank you. At least it's nice having that recognized. But again, I by far and away didn't do them. There's so many people that did a lot more than me. So when you say what I think I deserve is a whole different ball game. So but anyway, so yeah, and I got all my military stuff behind me here, different uniforms throughout the years that I dealt with, have some of the plaques and medals and just all that kind of stuff. And one update about my base, my base that I retired from, that was my base my whole career that we deployed from. My base was Selfridge Air National Guard Base in Michigan, Mount Clemens, Michigan, Macomb County. You may have seen on the news, Trump was just there. They were going to try and close down this base that is built in 1917. One of the most historic, probably the most historic air base in the country. And it is the largest one east of the Mississippi, and they were going to pretty much mothball most of the stuff in it. Trump stepped in here, and because they're retiring the A-10 Warthog that I worked on, and I think I showed you. This is the shell from the 30 millimeter Galway Gatling gun that is on the A-10 Warthog. And we're getting a bit off topic. They got a great announcement though, and this is a freedom stuff part of my show here. They get a great announcement. They're getting the new brand new aircraft, just off the assembly line here. The F-15 Eagle EX, the most modern 6th-generation fighter, or I think it was fifth generation fighter or 6th generation. I know it's one of the most modern, badass fighter aircraft that you can get. The F-15 Eagle was badass to begin with, and this is a modern version of that, and it is an absolutely phenomenal beast of an aircraft. And now my base, my troops that I, you know, the ones that people that I still train that are still in, and the new guys coming up, they'll be preparing that for the next war deployment. And I gotta say, I'm a bit envious of them. I'm wishing there was some way I could come out of retirement, do one delivery to that bird, just so I could say that I did it. And so that's what it'd be cool if they would let me do that for one day. You know, put me on a one-day contract. Let me do one delivery out there and deliver some munitions to that aircraft. And then just so I can say I did it. And but I was so glad to see that Trump was at my base there. And it was it was really cool to see that, and it was Trump individually who saved that base. Joe Biden was ready to mothball everything at Selfridge, getting direct quotes from both presidents. Joe Biden said he had no intention of doing anything with Selfridge. He was going to cut back the budget. And Trump looked at it and said, "Nope, we're not going to do that. And we're going to put a modern aircraft there. We're going to let the old one be retired, but we're going to put an even better plane there." What that does for Southeast Michigan, it's well over 1,000 people's jobs that were saved there that are in the military that would have had to transfer or get out. Then all the civilian contract workers that work at that base and all of the stores all around that base rely upon the people from that base coming there to spend their money. It would have literally decimated, would have put that whole area into a recession instantly. So that's some of the real good news on that. So we got some good news. Good news at my old base. Good news with my shoulder. Okay, and I know somebody just sent me a picture about how the Conneaut Creek is absolutely flooding out from all the rain right now, and I don't have time to look at it here, but I'll check it out when we get off here, and I'll probably post a picture up. Oh, more good news. Because I was out injured, I had time to get the Facebook page for the channel running. Okay, so there's good news all around. Now we got a Facebook page, so if you see something in the video, now you got to remember, because this happened the last one. I know Candy and Nancy, this happens a lot. They see something, they'll put the timestamp in there, and I won't see it. And what I say is, that doesn't mean it's not there. It means I can't see it. You know, sometimes because I will go over this video. I'll go over this video pretty thorough, and everything, it starts to blur into me. Like I've seen it too much. I was there seeing it in person, and then I'm watching it on video over and over. And there's stuff in like this last video. There's noises. I heard the noise, but couldn't tell what it was. You got to hear that noise amplified 4 times over. So what you hear in that video is 4 times better than what I could have heard, what I heard in real time. So that's why I'll say I heard something, but I can't tell what it is. And when you play it on the video, I'm like, wow, you can clearly tell that is this. It's because you have amplified sound on there. I didn't have the amplified sound in real time. So, Facebook's name is T-Max American Experience. And I will, after this, I will get a link up to it onto the YouTube channel. I should have done that earlier in the day. So, and well, Nancy, I know I'm not a fan of. I have to say that I'm not a fan of Facebook. I'm just not. I don't. Unfortunately, it is the social media platform that I guess if you say I know how to operate on, because I have some of the other ones that I like better, but I don't really know how to operate on them well. And that's some of the technology stuff. That's my deficiency, I guess you can say, is keeping up with the technology. See, doing the hikes, that's the easy part of this. Going out in the woods in the middle of the night, dealing with stalkers, dealing with animals, dealing with rocks being thrown at me. That's the easy part. So, all right, so we'll get back to this. Everything in the woods that goes bump in the night. I do preference that every little noise that we hear in the woods is not a Bigfoot or a cryptid. Okay, we have to put that out there. So to be accurate, I'm investigating there and I'm investigating to see the possibilities of whether one of these things could live there. And that's why I say I'm looking for the wildlife, the signs of wildlife. And especially when I say predator activity, because I'm trying to look at habitat. Can we have, on top of the other animals here, can we have a large apex predator wandering around in these woods, especially one with a omnivore diet like us, or like bears, or like raccoons? Can we have one of those things on top of the other things living in these woods and be successful? For that, you need a crap ton of water. You need seclusion and a large area for them. You look at the area that brown bear cover, and it's obnoxious. They cover a lot of territory. So don't cougars. They have this large home range. Well, as far as that goes with Bigfoot, Sasquatch, we kind of gotta assume that they roam kind of the same large expanse of territory as one of these other, as a cougar or a black bear. So that means every patch of woods that we go into, statistically speaking, cannot possibly have a Bigfoot in it. It may look creepy and scary, and it may be creepy and scary, but we can't say, well, one of these is in every patch of the woods. And I do see, like with some of the people who send the pictures in on the Jack's page, if you have 9 things circled onto that one screenshot, I'm going to tell you right now, one of them may be something. Some of those might be potential somethings. But I think the statistic ability, the likelihood that you caught 9 of them in one picture frame, wow. I mean, you don't see, 9 or 10 bears together like that, or cougars. You will with coyote. You'll probably get a pack of coyotes like that together. But the likelihood that you have a screenshot and there's 10 Bigfoot in this page watching you, right in this screenshot watching you. I'm going to say, if I do catch that, then I need to play the lottery. So, and I say that because, you have better odds of being struck by lightning than winning the lottery. Now, people win the lottery every single day. And even more people get struck by lightning every single day. So that's my counter to that. So, but if you see something that is that rare and that odd, yes, time to play the lottery, because I think you may have a lucky hand. So, some of the hikes I got up, I said the next one I got is the Cuyahoga National Forest, and then I got, I think I got, it's like 4 hikes in a row. I'm in a place a viewer requested, but that I've never been before, called the Jumbo Woods in Pennsylvania. State Game Land, number 101. I went upon with Patty. I'm not sure. I don't know. Patty's probably not on here. Patty was suggested that I do that and said she lives right near there. And I went out there to finally, I'm like, okay, I need to explore this place. And Swampy does not begin to describe the place. It is, they said even in the summertime, even in the dry spell, this place is a total swamp. So, oh, Zoe is on. Okay, young girl Zoe. That is my niece Zoe that just came on. Hi, Zoe. So, so Zoe, aka Jelly Bean. That's her nickname. Or in basketball, she's called the Hammer. So, and she is, by the way, she's a city champ. She won the city championship in basketball. So, all right. So, what I did find out in these game lands, as you've seen both of them, you've seen the Game Land 314. I still have a couple pieces that I'm not sure what to do with that I wanted to get your guys' opinion on. So I have the thermal videos of everything that I'm not sure what I should do with or how I should put them out, whether I should lump them into one video or into two or something like that. And this last night, this last one that I did, I turned the audio on. And so I have the audio recording the whole time. And there's a couple spots in it that are kind of rough, but everywhere where I heard noises, and it comes in even more clear than when what I've got on the main video. So like where I said I'm hearing something that sounds like an owl hooting, you can hear something really clear. I got the one spot where I said I'm hearing something but couldn't tell what it was, and it sounds like almost like two cats fighting, two wild cats, I'd say, like bobcats, or they could have been possibly fishers. And that was after I set off the predator collar, that those two things started screeching at each other. And I did that because in this area the night before, I caught these howls on there that I still say I've never heard anything like them. I've got to, they're on the main videos, the first two that I got. Those howls are on there. They obviously are in the distance, but they're different. They are so different than anything else that I've ever heard. They're these flat and monotone style howls, which I've never heard. I've never heard that. I've heard all kinds of coyotes do their whimping and whining. They're screechy, they're pitchy, and got all kinds of weird owl noises and bird noises that they go all over the range on. I've never had something just continuously sound off, flat toned, almost like with no emotion. You know, like, I don't know, you can hear like the emotion in the coyotes' howls. And these were like these they had no pitch to them. And they could have been there. If you can hear them on there, you hear them more on the part 2 video, but there's some on the part 1. Thanks for joining, guys. Thank you. Wow, from the Netherlands. We got Netherlands, we got Northern Ireland, we got Australia in the house, and people all over the U.S. That is just great. Thank you, guys. So the videos that I have coming up, then I do in the Jumbo Woods, and that place, I got something on video howling that, man, you got to hear this. There's definitely some coyotes going on. but there's this very deep howl. And my second part, my second night, I should say there, because I believe I got it broken down into 3 videos like this last one. My second night, I had it howl. I started howling before I could get the camera on, right when I'm sitting in the parking lot. And I do that. You got to use that term parking lot very loosely in these game lands, because it's a cleared out gravel spot surrounded by the woods. Like there's nothing special, or like you're not like in the clear when you're in these parking lots. They're not like what you would say, oh, I'm in a safe spot, I'm in the parking lot. No, you're in the woods and you're out in the middle of nowhere. So that was another thing seen on there. The onions that somebody put them in in those parking areas of Game Land 314 in 2 different spots, and I still don't know why. Not sure what that's about. So so I don't, yeah. So yeah, the autocorrect gets me all the time. So then we have the PA State Game Lands, and so what I have coming up here is quite a few new areas. So the next 5 hikes, 5 videos will be all brand new areas. The brand new areas, and then I had to get a couple of the regular spots that I like to keep track on before I was out of commission. And if any of you guys heard on my videos the scream, the night where I was screamed at in the woods, it was at Friends of Conneaut Creek. It's been May, I believe it's or I believe it was April 20th was the onions. Okay. What is it? Onions seem to repel things. Yeah, that's what I would think. I don't know. I'm sure, they're bulbs that grow in the ground. I know there's got to be something that eats them, but not anything big. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with those. I don't understand why they put them out there. I don't know if they're just dumping their excess or what. So, and the one had green grapes and onions with it, like really weird combination. I don't know how to explain that. So anyway, I wanted to get some of my regular areas at the end there too. So I got Friends of Conneaut Creek coming up. I got it near the anniversary of the Scream. And gosh, dang, does that place, especially when you're by yourself, that is obnoxiously creepy down there. And I did get Camp Pete. Camp Pete is where I had the run-in with the Stalkers. And that's one you definitely don't want to miss. And you'll have to watch this beginning to end, because the Stalkers aren't there in the beginning, but I put a little hidden camera on my car. And I'm not sure what I should do with this video footage, because there's settings on this little body camera thing that I had hidden in there, and me, I didn't set it right. So but it still captured the same car circling back in and circling around my car 4 different times. And 2 of the times I see it personally. And like I said, when they wanted to pull in and confront me, and I scared the ever-loving heck out of them, because I brought my good friends Smith and Wesson with me. So, and they got to meet my friends. So that's how their night went, and I hope they're watching, because when I am back out there, if you confront or bother me on my hike, I will take it as a threat. I'm 100% disabled vet. I will not fight you because I can't, but I can defend myself. I will shoot you. So that's just the bottom line of that. If they interfere with me or they try to threaten me, I will shoot, and we'll call the coroner and you can tell them how they didn't want me to hike there. I'll even go give a eulogy at their funeral about how they didn't want me to hike there. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave that. Hopefully they're listening to that. Like I said, right now I'm 50% combat effective. I just had to go through the police course while I still had the torn rotator cuff. I had to pass the firing course for that, and you have to run through the course with your right hand, and then you have to completely redo the course with your left hand. And I passed. I actually scored better with my left hand because it wasn't hurting than I did with my right hand, and scored an 80% overall. But I actually shot better with my left hand. So, like I said, I'm 50% combat. Yeah, more sensitive mic to pick up the sounds. I'm trying. I do have that. I got the same audio recorder that, like, for Thinker Thunker. This is where I got the idea from. Thinker Thunker has that. He calls the Whoop Project, because he says you're not going to catch the stuff with your cell phone. You need to have a better recorder. So I got that other recorder, and he said I got some of those sounds on there. The one part about this recorder is the first thing is I'm not sure what I should do with the audio. Like, when I record this and I find stuff, I'm like, oh, what the heck do I do with this now? How do I show everyone? And I'm debating on that. Like, what should I do? Should I go through and try to clip certain sections and then release them in a short, or just release the whole thing for you, saying here's the whole thing, and you can match it up with the other one? I'm not sure, and I was going to ask you guys, how should I, what's the best way? What way would you like to see this audio recording? What way would you like to see the thermals? Well, and I know it's, Nancy, when you say it's sad that I got to worry about that, I get that, but from what I have heard from other people who do these channels, that only means one thing. It means I've been successful. This is what you're going to get. If you're successful at this, you're going to get haters. You're going to get haters who want you to stop. Whether they're jealous or whatever their reasoning is, I don't know. But that's what you're going to get. So Dan says release the whole thing, just untouched, just as is, and just release that. Yeah, I agree. Short note, I agree. But, like I said, the freedom of this country is I have a right to defend myself. And that's one of the things is what I got there, I didn't have to get into a fight, okay, because I had a firearm with me. And now I want you to take that into consideration, not only with your own life, but if you watch any of these videos that'll do the top 5 scariest things that happen on night hikes or stuff like that, like Fear Fanatics or Nuke's Top 5 or whatever, or Sir Spooks, some of the other guys. I watch all those too, by the way. That's why I know all those channels. I watch all them, and 90% of the people on there are in that situation for one reason. They don't have a firearm. So it would literally end like, oh, the video would not be. So for Fear Fanatics, he contacted me to use some of my stuff. And I said, absolutely. Good. He's never used any of my stuff. Do you know why he hasn't used my stuff? Because everyone else on his videos screams, cries, and runs away. I don't. So I guess maybe that takes out some of the entertainment value. I don't, because first of all, even if I could run away, that's not my mentality. I'm going to stand my ground, but because I'm going to play odds, percentages, and my best chances of success are standing my ground. But especially my condition, okay, I can't run away. There's nobody. I can no longer outrun my 12-year-old daughter. So that's the condition I'm at, even though I could out hike her. We go out into the woods and do a 10-mile hike. She probably won't even finish. Okay. I can out hike her, but we get into a sprinting contest, I lose. I lose quickly. So, if you noticed on all those videos, though, there'll be guys, girls, whatever it is, they scream, they panic, and I guess maybe that's what fear sells, I guess. You know, seeing other people afraid. I kind of think, like, you know, the common link of a lot of these video types is that there's a natural instinct of human beings is to be afraid of the dark. For me, I mean, I have to admit, and even in me, I think, you know, kind of my, you know, my fear button is it's kind of busted from the stuff I did. However, I'm not immune to that either. I'll look at that and be like, this is dark and scary. And then I walk in. It's because you got to understand, bravery does not mean you are void of fear. It means you advance in spite of fear. So, because most of the time, fear is a liar. The biggest thing in your mind, it's going to trick you with. It's going to just hem you up and make you lose a lot of joy in your life. Is fear. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of failing. You know, afraid of the dark. Okay. I'm afraid of failing too. I'm afraid of, you know, I'm afraid of being in the dark. You know, I'm afraid of all these things. It just doesn't stop me. It just does not stop me. So, and like I said, if I walk out of there alive, I've come up with some amazing things. And that's one of the things I'd like to go over too. We got some, the things that go bump in the nights. Okay. When I got enough of, I am starting to, like, exactly, Nancy, false evidence appearing real. Okay. That's fear. So, I got enough evidence of the rock throws, what happens before, what happens after. I have been, like, just like, you know, this is the law enforcement side of me that is in here. I've been categorizing them like, and I'm profiling them, like a criminologist would, trying to solve a crime. And I've been doing that with when it happens to Jack, when it happens to MT, or when it happens to Trapper, their stuff. I am categorizing these and trying to determine behavior. The majority of them, now, if you've seen in this last video, there was a rock flung at me with a little bit of passion and hatred behind it. It hit about a foot above my head. So, I don't know. Some of you guys would say, if it wanted to hit you, it could hit you, or maybe it missed. Maybe it was trying to hit me. It made me duck. I will say that. It come flying in there with some velocity, and it made me duck. You know, as I say, could they have meant to hit me and missed? Good. That's a possibility. Like the ones being thrown in the water, though. Those were not thrown in the water to hurt me. They were thrown in the water. They want the reaction out of me, whether it's fear. I think they love getting a fear reaction. But I think mostly it is they are getting some sort of entertainment out of this. Like, hey, let's pick on this dude because he can't see us. You know, they know they have what I would say is a camouflage advantage. And an advantage for is I walk into the dark woods with one of the brightest darn flashlights on the planet. Everything can see me in those woods. There's no hiding. There's no hiding from that light, especially when I crank that up on high. I mean, I'll turn that forest into daytime. I also think they don't like those lights. They don't like those really bright lights, and I think they have a reaction to them. But I honestly think they know they have the advantage on me of they can see me and I can't see them because I need that flashlight, my eyes, you know, and they have eyes that are designed to see at night. So, but I think I think I am more of something to entertain them with, as opposed to getting into a territorial battle with. I don't think they're trying to. They may be saying, "Hey, this is my territory," and they definitely. If you watch these videos, how many trees did I come across that were falling across the path? And it's like, well, is that coincidence? Maybe. Maybe it was a message not to come through there. But same thing with X's and everything like that. I've walked right through X's. I actually will walk like underneath the X. Everything that I can to, like, okay, you put up your thing saying don't come in here. I'm still coming. And I think honestly, most people are so oblivious to that I'm having trouble knowing human behavior. That I'm having trouble thinking that they think these are a proper warning for us, blocking the path. You may be able to on retrospect, but most people, we don't get that. That message flies right over our head. So I'm not sure if the rock throwing and the screaming or knocking down trees, that's getting into some more aggressive, I guess would you say, is we don't want you here type of behavior. But even that, I say most of the rock throwing, I think they love seeing the reaction, whether it's fear or whether it's me shining that light in every different direction, or, you know, someone screaming, whatever, you know, or getting, you know, just getting scared. I think that's what they're doing it for. I think they get quite a bit of enjoyment out of that. And that would be something that would be denote like the intelligence of like a primate. Because, and this type of behavior is not, that's other primates have exhibited that type of behavior. So it tells me that, like I said, they have at least the intelligence of other primates. And some of the same things that amuse other primates amuse them. So we're seeing some similarities there with that. Now, howls and rock throws and all that kind of stuff, and that's good. That's great when I catch that. It's trying to catch the I've got some, you know, audios and everything, but trying to catch some actual sightings of these things it's tremendously difficult, and I think that's for a reason. And there's my daughter behind me putting stuff away.
Hi.
So, so, and so I gotta say that I think they get quite a bit of amusement out of, and they also look at what type of reaction we give too. If I match their aggression with aggression, then that means, okay, game on. We're gonna keep upping the aggression. When so when see, that's one way I can keep my wife out of the basement. I turn the camera on. She ain't getting in front of the camera. So that's what she'll send my daughter down to do her dirty work during that. So and okay, so I guess what I gotta say is the other thing is I want to say is, you know, it's like not only me, but we're constantly having this evidence of these things being around. Yet most everybody comes back unharmed, maybe a little shaken, but unharmed. So that would mean primarily we're not on the menu. We're not a food source, and predators dealing with other predators. If you look at like that, like a bear and a cougar, there's at times where they will fight each other, but for the most part, they don't really want to fight to the death because neither one of them. If you fight something to the death, you're going to get injured in the process, and a predator needs to be able to hunt down its next meal. And so if they get injured taking care of this one or in a territorial dispute, then it won't matter. They won't be able to eat, and they're not going to last long. So I think they're like other predators will show. They're cautious with it. That's why you see like Canadian goose. Why you'll see them chase away an elephant, a lion, a tiger. You know, these things will chase. I've seen them chase away full-grown bulls because they're confident, and it makes those other top animals think, okay, it might be able to hurt me, so they'll stop, and because it's not acting like a prey animal, and that's kind of what I have against running in the woods. If you run in the woods, you're acting like your food. So that's another reason not to run, because that's what a prey animal does, is it runs. And so a predator says, yep, that's food. I need to chase it. So if and I can tell you this, you're not outrunning. You're not running coyotes. You're not running black bear. You're not running cougars or bobcats. You're not going to outrun these things. So that's why I'm saying is, yeah, you could try to outrun them, but you're not going. It's not going to work. You have to be able to stand your ground. And what I was going to say is not only about just being in the woods with this, but anywhere in life. Okay, so I had these stalkers mess with me. Okay, they're thinking they have the advantage on me. They got me surrounded, got me blocked into an entrance where I can't get into my vehicle and escape. My firearm draws. Now there was 4 of them and 1 of me, and they looked at the odds and said, we're outnumbered. So he brought his buddy Smith and Wesson with him. Okay. And so there was no fight because I had the firearm, because I had self-defense tactics there. If I were to say, call the police, okay? Yeah. So sound wave is on here. Okay, sound waves. You're from South Florida, right? Sound wave. It's another one that recently here I've ran into online and looked at some of his. I was looking at some of his stuff, and I'm like, wow, this guy does some good research. I like this guy. So I'm like, I had to start following him and to message him. So, but that's one of the things is you can win a fight by not having to be in a fight when you have self-defense items with you. So, I just look at everything in the aspect of, I want everyone to, somebody is like, I'm against having a gun. I'm telling you, you got to get over that, because a gun is basically this. Okay? This is a tool. A gun is a tool. Okay? It's a tool that God has given us the right to use, these tools, but is a tool for self-defense. Can also be used for some other different things like hunting and everything, but it's a tool basically designed for defense. Okay, even when you say, well, our police, our military, they use them in defense. Okay, defense of our nation, defense of third person, or defense of themselves. That's what a firearm's used for. Okay, if you use a firearm in a offensive manner, that's illegal, and you should go to prison, and you will go to prison. So, so Soundwave said they came to me. Same thing with me. Same thing with me, Soundwave. I didn't start out saying I'm going to go out looking for Bigfoot. I had run-ins in my teenage and early 20s. Had some run-ins completely not looking out on camping trips or out in the country in the middle of the night, and had all my experiences then. And even then, I went out into the woods where I had the standoff with this thing, the 15-minute standoff. That I have the short video on it is because I wasn't doing a channel then. That's why I don't have a longer video of that. I was still kind of toying around with the idea of what to do, and I was helping somebody else with their channel. And we ran into this thing, and we had it was a 15-minute standoff with my firearm pointed at it. And we ended up having to walk out of the woods backwards, and it stood its ground. It wasn't gonna budge, but because it wasn't going to advance aggressively. I think it knew what the gun was. So I may need to adjust my mic. Something is it not coming in good? So anyway, that's what got me into videoing this. And the night I got screamed at, I always state my hiking objectives. If you listen, go back to that video. It was called Terror in the Woods. This is the night that I got screamed at. I list my hiking objectives, and Bigfoot and Sasquatch are not on the objectives. I wasn't out there looking for them. I was out there looking for the wildlife. And that thing screamed at me. And it's like, and that's when I said, we're going to have to include that. I think we're going to need to include that from now on. And of course, it's after that the rocks just started to fly at me every time I went in the woods. So, you see, yeah. And that's the sound wave, what you say there about getting along with them. I'm not necessarily out there to make their enemy. I'm not really pro of the gifting, other than I like to set things out as what I would call more as not just gifting. I wouldn't call it gifting. I would call it bait stations. I'll set stuff out there because I want to try to capture evidence. I want to try to capture video, audio, whatever, thermal. I want to try to capture evidence of them. And at the end of the day, just like everybody else who's gotten what you would say is legitimate evidence, what happens to them? What happened to Patterson and Gimling, and all these other people who have gotten some very good sightings? They're called fake, phonies. They're attacked. Their integrity in every shape and form is attacked. They're called liars. So, and that's what they say is at the end of the day, they say you're going to have to drag a body out. Now, where I'm at with that, of what's it going to take to prove this, I'm not sure, but I'm going to go with the less than lethal versions first, because number one, my experience is if I got one throwing a rock or screaming at me in this direction, flanking me on probably both sides is probably one, possibly one behind me. Okay, that's been my experience. So if the one that shows itself in front of me gets popped, I'm probably going to get attacked from behind. So I have firearms that are definitely strong enough to, what I'd say is strong enough to put one of these down. Do I have the means to take out a whole clan of them? Probably not. I have enough bullets for it, but can I get enough of the rounds off? So, Oh, I've been, and as I say, I put that little video out that I had of that because it was only 21 seconds. I got called all kinds of nasty names. I had people tell me I recorded a stump, and even though I went back and shown that same spot through every different season over the last 2 years, you can clearly see it is not there anymore. You know, none of my haters, they don't have an answer for that. The stump ran away, you know. So, and it's like, so, say, what's it going to take to prove one of these things is, I don't want to be the person who pulls the body out, because if they DNA test it and it comes back as even partially human, then I'm a murderer. Okay, we don't know what it is. Okay, now granted, I do believe our government knows. I believe people in the department, and when I say our government knows, that doesn't mean every politician in the House, Senate, or the president. Do they know? No, probably not. The way our government works with secrets, you have to understand, because I've worked with the government, how they do things is, yes, they will have secrets, but they will have the different sections of the government will know a little piece of that. So combined, they know it all together, but they will keep their little segment of that information. So say it's like what they're finding out, JFK's assassination. Okay. You have one section that has this piece. Another section of the government over here has this piece. Another section over here has this piece. At one time, I would say probably one entity in our government knew everything, but I think it's been divided up. And there was, and they will do this. One person will know, will know like the entire details of it. But they're not sourced out. Like it's not going to be known who that is. And all the different branches of the government will have different pieces of this information. That's how they keep the secret, because you can't attack one entity. And I think, like in particular, I think with a lot of the JFK stuff, the one person who knew all the information, I think he's dead, and I don't think he passed on the information when he died. For Sasquatch, that's Department of the Interior. Okay, they're the ones that operate the national park systems and everything. I think, when you get high enough at the top of that, of the Department of Interior, I think they have a majority of the information of whether Bigfoot and Sasquatch are real. But there's some other sections of the government that have the other information. And as you've clearly seen when you watch me, Jack, MT, even if we set out for just, what'd you say, is finding Bigfoot, we run across so much other weird stuff in the woods. I mean, that's how MT, who's a ghost hunter, got attached to a Bigfoot group, because he went out looking for one thing and found something completely different. I went out with them just wanting to see what's out in the woods. Believe the Bigfoot thing is there. I had no interest in any of the ghost stuff. Well, I've caught in probably a dozen EVPs on my videos, and I wasn't looking for one of them. Not one of them, but I keep catching them. Don't know what they are exactly. We keep catching these weird lights in the woods too, moving around in the woods. I'd hardly believe that unless I actually seen it myself. I know Jack had said he had that before, and it wasn't that I didn't believe Jack, I just couldn't comprehend it. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't know where to put that, you know. So, and then I'm out with Jack, and something is emitting these blue lights, and they're moving around, and I have it on video. And we thought they were our glow sticks, and then 25 feet in front of us were our glow sticks. So it wasn't possible for these things that were off in a different direction and further away to have our glow sticks. And I don't know. I got it on camera. Wouldn't believe it unless I had it on camera. But I couldn't tell you what in the world is doing that. Um, so we get that. And Soundwave, yeah, I think me and you definitely need to have a conversation, and so message me on Facebook, and I'll get you my phone number. You're in Florida. I got quite a few relatives in Florida. I in the future want to try to get some visits down into that state. I don't know how Soundwave. This is where I say about things that you're afraid of. Same thing with short note. I would be deathly afraid to go squatching where short note lives or where Soundwave lives. Because Australia, where short note lives, has like the top 10 at minimum, top 20, maybe more deadliest animals on the planet are in are in Australia. You look at top deadliest snakes, top deadliest spiders, top deadliest scorpions, and you see Australia, Australia, Australia. Nope, don't want to go there. Florida has all the invasive species on top of having their own version, U.S. versions of poisonous snakes and spiders. And Florida has panther, and they have a growing black bear population as well. Then they got they got alligators there, crocodiles, which I guess there's a big thing with some of these crocodiles are starting to push out the alligators. Market share for the suitcase business, I don't know. And then they also have on top of that the skunk, your skunk apes, which are their types of Bigfoot, which are known to be aggressive, but you also have thriving populations of 3 other different types of monkeys, primates, rhesus macaques being among those and the most dangerous of them, as those rhesus macaques are all have herpes virus, and they like to bite, which will give you herpes. It's a gift that keeps on giving the whole year round, Clark. So, and yowies, yeah, and that's what you have. Short note, you got yowies. You have no other than yowies. You don't have like the main apex predators like we have in North America. But you got the most poisonous, which even baffles me more. Why does everything have to be so dang poisonous? So, but you have tons and tons of poisonous creatures. And then go into the waters there, and you have the largest and deadliest saltwater animals are all in Australia too. A lot of those are in Florida as well. But that's what I'm saying. Some of the climate's similar. Florida is, again, I like being able to walk in Northeast Ohio, especially at nighttime. I really I don't have to worry much about. We have one native poisonous snake. One. And it's a endangered species called a swamp rattler. Or something like it's called a Massasauga rattler, which is literally named after one of the Native American tribes that was here in Conneaut, in my hometown. So it's like, and most of them have gotten killed. So your snake good, and you can enjoy your snakes, because I flipping hate snakes. I don't even like the non-poisonous ones. But not only that, in Florida, they have the dang anaconda and boa constrictor problem there. So snakes, that they don't need to be poisonous because they're just large enough to eat you whole. That's stuff to be afraid of. If you're going to be afraid of something, make sure it's really big. So, alrighty. So, everyone, I want to say thank you for joining me. The good news, there's more good news than bad news, and I like that. Okay, I'm definitely going through a lot of pain. But a lot of pain, but I'm recovering. I'm gaining a little bit more mobility every day. So Soundwave, I have not checked out your YouTube channel yet, but I seen you on Facebook, and instantly caught my attention. I'm like, oh, cool, man, I need to check this guy out here. So, so we've just met. We just started talking, so I don't know him enough. But I got to say, just watching this stuff on Facebook had me interested. And yeah, I have a lot. I have my videos releasing, but now I'm like a lot of the stuff with you guys. I'm watching other people's stuff. So, and I always try to do that with my friends that are doing this anyway, trying to support. I try to support their channels. And not only friends, but I see a lot of other people who are doing this, and I want, this is my motto with this here. I want other people that are doing this to be successful at it. I'm not into this, you know, like you say, the Bigfoot community. You talk about having some drama amongst each other, and they only want it discovered if they're the one who finds it, or if it's done the way they said it's going to be done. I got a different mentality. I'm hoping that other people are successful, even to the point where it crowds me out of where, well, I would go look at, you know, everybody's proven this thing is true, so I don't need to go into the woods looking for it. I'm just going to look for the wildlife, and we can just do that in the daytime. You know, I'd like it to be that way. I'd like to be where it's proven once and for all. Just let's get it proven true. I think there's enough evidence that if you presented to a jury, that they would come back with probable cause that it exists. And that's just right, absolutely. And thank you for being on here, by the way, unknown cryptid. Thank you. And that's the way that's my attitude is, I don't look at other people who do this are not my enemy. So you guys actually, you're on the same side as me. We have the same goal. And the thing with that is, I don't care whether it's me who finds it. I actually prefer it to be someone else, because, you know, they're going to get some massive heat. I think whoever proves Bigfoot being true will not get rich off of it. I think literally their life will be destroyed. That's my honest opinion on that. And you guys that are doing that probably realize that same thing. If I drag one of these suckers out of the woods tomorrow, I'll prove it's true, and I'll have settled it in my mind and everyone else who called me a fake. Yep. But the attacks have just begun. And that's the way it's going to be. So, all right, so I got some great videos coming out in the future. Please look out for those. And all right, so Soundwave just sent me his phone number. I got that. I'll give you a call. I'll give you a call later here. I got to get cleaned up from this. So I'm down here in the command bunker. Took me a little bit of time to set up on this, because doing things one-handed is really awkward. So, and I had to get the sweatshirt on. You know how painful this was. Just to get my favorite sweatshirt on. All right, sounds good. I will give you a call tonight. And hopefully, all you guys too, looking forward. Check out on Facebook, look up T-Max American Experience, and you're going to find that group page there. Get onto that page. I sent it out to a bunch of people, as many people as I could. So, because we are monetizing, I guess you can say we're on Facebook. If that's being considered modern, I don't know. They're a bunch of douchebags. But anyway, you didn't hear that. But everybody, I want to say God bless you. Thanks for joining me. Stay out in the woods, stay hiking. Not only that, from now on too, when you catch things on my video, post it onto that Facebook page. And let's get that Facebook page with some good information on it. Also on my Facebook page, if you have content, short note, if you have content, I don't see Marianne on here tonight, but Soundwave, unknown cryptid, if you guys have content, you get a video up, post it on my Facebook channel. I'll promote it, because like I said, I'm not looking at anybody as they're my enemies. That's just not my mentality. And so be looking forward for some very good videos to come out. I'm excited about the stuff I have coming out. I actually am like, I can't wait. Like a kid in a candy store, I cannot wait to get this stuff out to you. And I'm having to be patient. I'm having to be patient in releasing it one per week. And the way I want to do is, man, the stuff I got is pretty good, and I'd like to push this stuff out there so we can talk about it. But I know I'd overwhelm you guys. It's not going to be beneficial. But I will be June. I will be back to hiking and outdoors. I have some cool new equipment that I'm going to try to incorporate into the hikes, and well, we'll just see how this adventure goes. But in the meantime, these videos that I do release, I release once a week. I need you guys to help these videos succeed. Let's work the algorithm. Okay, you playing that video all the way through. The longer you play it, the more that helps it. Clicking that like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribing, and sharing it around, sharing it onto Facebook, sharing it all over. That kicks the algorithm up, saying this is worth pushing to other people. And so you say, if you like this content, then don't keep it to yourself. That would be selfish. So alrighty. So and again, also on my Facebook channel, humor is welcome. Okay, and you know me, my humor gets of a combat veteran and a career corrections officer. My humor's strange, weird, dark. Okay, so I allow that type of humor on my Facebook channel too. So I always say this there: if you can have your feelings hurt by a Facebook post, man, you got issues. You got issues that are much bigger than what I can deal with. All right, so yeah, don't let a Facebook post ruin your day ever. Okay. All right, so I just want to say thank you once again for joining me. This is T-Mac for T-Mac's American Experience, and God bless you. I want to thank you all for joining. Be looking forward for good stuff coming up and communicating with me on Facebook here, okay? Alrighty. Thanks, Good Nato. All you guys, love you guys. God bless you. You guys have helped motivate me through all of this stuff. That's the only reason I'm not going stir crazy, because I can't stand sitting still, and I'm having to do that. So, but I have you guys. And I'm telling you, you're a big help to me. So I say, the Lord bless you 10 times over what you've been to me. All right. God bless you.